Hello everyone, welcome back to the Vintage Baseball Corner. I'm Chris, and today we are going to do a preview of a large vintage PSA submission for cards that are at PSA in the grading stage right now. As I mentioned in my first video, I forgot unfortunately to shoot this video before I packed the cards up and mailed them in. So we're going to look at front and back scans today instead of the cards themselves. For that, I apologize. Now, while we're covering this, I'm going to briefly show you some of the cards that we had graded in our last PSA 70 submission, and then preview a few of the cards that you're going to see here as we go through these individually. There were 76 cards in this submission, broken up between 1960 and 1979. So it's part of the March 14.99 vintage special for PSA. This is going to be part 2. In the interest of time, I've broken this up into 3 different previews. The first preview for the 1960s was posted previously, and this is part 2. We're going to cover all of the 1970s, except for 1975. We had enough of those that we decided to break it out into a third submission. So we'll get started here. Just a couple of quick notes as we do. This submission consists of myself and 3 other friends who pool our cards together. We have different collecting styles, different favorite players, and so you'll see a little mix of high grade, low grade, mid grade, see a little bit of everything. But we're going to get into this. Just please check out the other preview, part 1. This is part 2, and then part 3 is to come here in the next day or two. We certainly appreciate your time, and let's get at this right away here. The first one we've got is an Al Kaline from 1971. This is a really nice looking card. It's got a little bit of corner and edge wear, but really minor for the 71 series and what you normally see. The upper left corner is a little worrisome to me, so I have this down as expect a 5 and hope for a 6. But in general, this is a pretty darn nice looking card, as you can see, as the back is clean as well. Next up are 2 cards that are of star players that have seen their day. First, Hank Aaron in 1971. You can see lots of corner and edge wear here. Got a little bit of creasing on the left side, a lot of surface wear. I've got this as a probable 1 with a hope of a 2. And I really would be surprised if we saw anything different than a 1 or a 2 here. Same thing goes for Roberto Clemente, 71. Lots of corner and edge wear. These cards have just been handled and loved over time. Again, creasing on the left side. And then as we look at the back, you can even see some wrinkles on the bottom left corner. And those wrinkles don't go through to the front of the card, but they're definitely there. So again, 1, hope for a 2 on the best case scenario, but that's probably as good as we're going to do. The next card up is another card from Clemente. It's from 1972. It's commemorating the 71 World Series Game 4. I picked this card up on eBay. It is really, really sharp. I bought it from a seller that I have purchased from before. He had advertised it as near mint or better, and it is all of that. Then this card is as sharp as many of the 9s that I have gotten when submitting 75s. I have high hopes for this. I have down listed expect an 8 and hope for a 9. This is a solid 8. I'm very comfortable that we're going to get a minimum of an 8 here. Just a really, really nice card. Next up is another World Series card. Excuse me. This one with Reggie Jackson. Taking a swing and leaving the box. This is Game 6 from the 73 World Series, a 1974 card. There's no real flaws on this card. Just minor wear. I've got it down as an easy solid 7 with a hope of an 8. And I think that's fair. I think this is just a nice near mint card, and hopefully we'll have good results with it. Next, we're going to jump to 1976. And my buddy Richard has several of these in the sub. This one is a Lou Brock and an All-Star. The centering on this one, top to bottom, is a little bit off. I got it at 68.32. It's got some minor wear and minor issues. I got this one listed as a expect a 6, hope for a 7. I think that's reasonable. I think a 7 is still very possible. But at the same time, there are some, again, sometimes minor issues add up. Any one flaw doesn't necessarily cause a grade. But if you have 3 or 4 small ones, then that kind of adds up. And again, you can see a nice clean back there. Next up is George Brett. We get a nice version here. A couple little things with this. The top-bottom centering is a little off. We're looking at about 72.28 on this one. Little corner touches. And unfortunately, you can't really see it in the scan. But there is a little bit of surface snow on this, as you commonly see with these cards. And I think that's going to limit us somewhat. I've got it again as a 6 with hope of a 7. I don't think that it's going to go down as far as a 5, but at the same time, it's really a nice near mint card that could get knocked down a little bit just with that snow. A quick note, as we look at the back here, most of these scans are from PSA's inbound scans, and if you'll notice along the top there, these cards are scanned still in the sleeves that they're sent in. So you'll see a little bit of glare here. You'll see some stuff along edges that aren't necessarily there. It's the reflection of the sleeve on the card and the light. And then you'll also see some scratches here and there that are in the sleeves and not on the card. The quality of these scans isn't the highest, but at the same time, I understand why they scan them before they take them out and handle them. So just that's a quick note in case something looks out of sort on this. Next up is a really nice Dennis Eckersley rookie card. This one's centered pretty well. It's pretty sharp. I've got it down as a 7 to an 8. Probably 8, 8.5 is as best as it's going to get. But there is a little bit of, I call it ink overspray, a little spotting on it, on the surface. But by and large, great color, sharp card, just really, really nice. And hopefully this one will do well for us. The next one, after Mr. Eckersley's rookie card, is Nolan Ryan. This one is a really sharp card. Nice looking card, great color, with a weird bottom right edge. I've looked at this very closely. That edge does not appear to be excessive wear. And the top of the edge is cut smoothly. So it's almost like it got cut, but the blade wasn't sharp, or I don't know exactly what could have caused that. Because usually you would think the whole edge would be worn and rough, or it would look tampered with. It does not look, to me, it does not look tampered with. So we're going to see how PSA treats this. I've got it as a near mint 8 with even hope of a 9 if they don't kill us on that edge. To be honest with you, it looks kind of like a cut from like an OPC card, except for the fact that it's not cut the same all the way up, and that's the head scratcher part of it. I mean, they could knock this all the way down to a 6, for that purpose. I just really don't know. I'm just hoping for a good grade for Richard on this one, because it's a really, really nice card. As you can see, a nice sharp back, good and clean. But we'll have to see on this one. This grade could vary on that one. Next up, Jim Rice, Rookie Cup, his first full solo card. This is a really nice sharp card, great color. Surface is good. Really not a whole lot wrong with this. I jotted it down at a 7.5 to 8 with even the possibility or hope for a 9. I don't know if we'll get there, but at the same time, it's a really, really nice 48-year-old card. And as you can see, the back continues on with that quality. Next up, Carlton Fisk. Same thing. Again, lots of great color, Good surface. Very, very, very minor issues that are seen under magnification. I see this as an 8. On a good day, we could hope for a 9. A generous day, it could happen, because the issues that I did see were extremely minor, and really not noticeable to the naked eye. Next up, Gary Carter, another rookie cup. His first full card as well, solo card. This one is got a little bit more wear. Got some corner. You can see the right side corners are touched up a little bit. Also had a little inconsistency on the surface. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it wasn't anything major. It was very difficult to see, and I couldn't even get it photographed. But ultimately, I've got this as a 6 with a hope of a 7, but it probably should fit nicely in that 6 to 7 range. Again, these all have nice, good, clean backs on them. Now we had Jim Palmer. We're going to fit in that same grade here. Just got a couple little edge issues on it. Minor stuff. Centering is off a little bit at 67-33 top to bottom. Very typical cut for these cards. But again, nice card, good color. I've got a 6, hope for a 7 on it. And again, the back gives us no issues at all. If you notice there, you can see it almost looks like some wrinkling towards the top, but that's, again, the sleeve. That's not the card. There are no issues on the back of the card that way. Now we got a Willie McCovey 76. Pretty nice card. Little bit of ink, spray, if you will, on the top there, top edge. I think this is a solid 8. I think on a good day it could get us a 9. I think it compares well with the. I have this card in a 9, and I think it compares well with that. But I'm pretty comfortable with an 8 on this, and then you just keep your fingers crossed that maybe you can get a bump to that next level. Tom Seaver, kind of the same deal. We're looking at 60-40 centering here, which is still fine for what we're looking at. I think this is a solid 8. Good color, good photo registration. Good day, we could see a 9. I think an 8's probably the likely result here. Next up, 76 Hostess Hank Aaron. This one I'm not as familiar with hand cut cards. I know they want to see the dash line border. This one I got a little bit close on the edges, on the right edge and the bottom. Again, there's glare on that because of the sleeve, so you can't really see the bottom part. But I've looked at others that are online and seen others that have graded that look worse or look tighter, if you will. But I just don't know. I'd be surprised if we saw an authentic only grade on this. At the same time, it's a really nice card, and I could see it grading anywhere in that 6 to 7 range. I just don't have the experience with hand cut cards to know exactly how they're going to come out. So next, looking at 77 rookie catchers, Dale Murphy. Rick Cerrone was also a longtime major leaguer. This is Murphy's rookie card. This one's got a little bit of wear on the corners. I've got it basically between a 6 and a 7. 7's probably the cap on it. Maybe 7.5 because it's centered pretty well if we get lucky on it. But still a nice Dale Murphy rookie card there. And you can see the back is nice and clean as well. Next is a Nolan Ryan 1977. Really nice looking card with just a little bit of a tick on the upper left corner. I think it's going to hold it back some. I got it as a 6. Let's hope for a 7. I don't think we can get to an 8 with that corner. But nonetheless, a very, very nice looking card. And as you can see by both the front and the back. Next up is one of my favorite 4-player cards. Not too often do you get a 4-player rookie card, even though this is, as a guy on Facebook told me, is Dale Murphy's second rookie card. But that you get 4 solid major leaguers in one card. All 4 of these guys had 10-plus year careers. I believe Bo Diaz's was the shortest at 12 or 13 years. We got 2 MVPs, several Silver Slugger awards, several Gold Glove awards. All 4 made the All-Star team at least once. I think we're in the neighborhood of 17 or 18 All-Star appearances from the 4. Just a really, really nice card of 4 solid players and major leaguers that had good careers. Lance Parrish is one I think is actually very, very overlooked. But for catchers. That said, on this one, I'm looking at a 7-ish. We could see an 8 if we get lucky. It does have a couple spots, one on the top and on the bottom. I don't think they're going to hit it too hard. But more than likely, I'm looking at a 7 on that one. Now we got the Burger King, Rich Gossage. The Burger King sets usually included a different photo and different numbering on the back. So as you can see, this one is number 10 with a different photo than the regular 78 Topps issue, but there's no mention of Burger King on the card anywhere. Just so kind of keep an eye on that. If you've got a low number and a different image you're not used to seeing, it's very likely a Burger King card. This is a pretty sharp card. I think we got a shot at a 9 here. I got it down as a 7.5 to 8. But I think we've got a shot at a higher grade. It's just a really nice looking card. And the last card we got is an OPC version, the Canadian version of Eddie Murray's second card, 1979. Really nice colors. Centered pretty well for especially for OPC cards. Some of the edges are typical OPC cuts, a little bit rough on the rough side. But again, that's not something that really affects the grade. That's a known issue. Again, OPC shows a different color back. I think OPC cards are really underrated, and they were printed in much lower quantity than the regular Topps runs. So, but that's it for this group of cards, and we'll kind of take a look back and see where we get when these cards come back. I'll do the grading. There were some football cards that were also submitted. I didn't include them in this preview, but I will when we do the PSA grade reveal. And I'll show you those as well. They're mainly Joe Namath cards. I think there was a Bart Starr mixed in as well. But I'd encourage you, first of all, thank you for making it to the end of the video. I would encourage you to go back and look at part 1 of the cards from the 60s from this submission, and then coming soon, the 1975 version. I believe there are 23 cards from 1925. I just felt like, or 1975, excuse me. I just felt like that would add too much time to this to lump all those together. So, once again, I appreciate it. If you'd like to go back and look at the old 1970s reveals that we did, I'll include those links in the notes. Go back and take a look at those to see our first 70s, just to give you an idea of the kind of cards that are submitted and the grades that we've received. But on that, I'll sign off. All likes and subscribes are appreciated. It certainly helps the channel. If you like the content, please check back and spend some more time with us. We'll look forward to doing the same with you here coming soon. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.